Yeah, we are live. We are here. We have made it to Wednesday, fellow humans.
It's half time.
Half time in the week. Anything can happen. It's 1-1 or 0-0, depending on how bad a week you've had, right? Or maybe 2-0. You may be 2-0 down on a Wednesday, and you've only got Thursday and Friday to sort of try and get 2 wins to equalise. You know.
Yeah, take it to extra time at the weekend, didn't it?
Well, that's the thing. Extra time the weekend, you know. I mean, the weekend is like you got to win. You got to have won by the weekend. You know, Saturdays the whistle's blown by Friday night. Do you know what I mean?
But by the early hours of Saturday morning, the whistle's definitely gone for sure. A lot of the time. Yeah. Did you know? We were talking a bit about boxing backstage. You just made me think. Did you know that? You probably do know this, but way back in the day. Boxing just used to continue. Talking of like extra time, boxing just used to continue until someone was knocked out. So you could have like 20 odd rounds, 30 odd rounds. It was not health and safety friendly back then, in like the sort of 40s and 50s, I believe. This kind of time, they used to have mad marathon boxing matches.
I think in the 80s, didn't they bring it down from 15 rounds to 12 rounds? Yeah, it was literally until the last man was standing. It was insane. But I think even in the early 80s, it was a 15-round match, wasn't it?
Yeah. It was.
Fight. You just wish it had gone to 15 rounds though, because 15 rounds really sort of, you know, I don't know. I mean, there's that whole thing about Michael Watson, Chris Eubank and Michael Watson. I think that sort of put the mockers on things for a bit, you know.
There's even like there's quite a few fights though that are, there's always so many fights that are still disputed, like the scoring decisions. It gets to round 12 and it's kind of like one fighter's been dominating for a certain amount of rounds and the other ones come back in, and round 12 is kind of like this meeting point where everything's even, and you just wonder if there's an extra 3 rounds to 15, maybe that would be the separator.
You know, they should go extra time. Like some of these fights, they sort of the referees need to have a word. And because listen, I mean, the thing is with boxing, though, unfortunately, there's a lot of corruption. There's a lot of really bad decisions. So there's a lot of really dubious decisions in boxing. So well, especially if it's too close. I mean, they were talking about what they should do really is if they score it live round by round, so the boxers know where they are. You know, that would lead to very interesting, I think much more interesting fights, because if a boxer knows he's up behind, he's going to put a lot more in to try and catch up. You know, he's going to go for if he knows he's 2 points behind, he's going to go for a knockout to level it. You know what I mean?
That's true. I mean, it's the only sport, like fighting sports like that are the only sports that I can think of, unless you can think of one, where the participants don't know the score as they go along.
Exactly. Obviously, yeah, it's so weird, isn't it? They don't know the score. That is insane. Is there another? I cannot think.
Because like same with kickboxing, same with MMA.
Yeah,
it's all fighting. It's all just fighting sports, isn't it? I mean, obviously they have an idea, but then then it's subjective, isn't it? Because a lot of judging gets subjective as to kind of like, you know. Is a sort of not, you know, you can knock someone down, but overall you could still win. They could still win the fight. Do you know what I mean? But then some people would think because of the knockdown, the other boxers won the fight. So it gets very subjective. So it's interesting. I've never actually thought of it like that. Yeah, it's the only sport that like they don't actually know how it's going.
Yeah, it's really weird, isn't it? They're in the dark. Yeah,
in kickboxing,
they don't know how much they have to defend or attack. It's like, yeah, it's weird. It's really odd. Yeah, you think about it.
In kickboxing, they actually do have extra time. They do have. If it's a draw, they go an extra round, or is it 2 rounds? No, it's an extra 1 round. I think they go. So they do have kind of an extra time thing in kickboxing. So yeah, so I don't mind a bit of kickboxing. I got into that quite late. I don't know if you've ever watched it. I didn't really like it.
I went to Bangkok. Yeah, I mean, if you see that movie Ong Bak, it's such a good fucking movie. Excuse my language, this early on a Wednesday, on that middle of the week trough. But that Ong Bak, have you seen that?
No, I haven't seen it.
Yeah. Oh gosh, well, what's the name of the guy who's in that? Tony Jaa. He's a kickboxer. It's a Thai guy. Tony Jaa. I mean, It's going back a bit, but yeah, man, watch Ong Bak. But yeah. It's amazing. It's a story of how sort of village kickboxer from Thailand is trying to protect his heritage of these Buddha statues that have been stolen by unscrupulous, locals involved with international, art dealers, and they're stealing the statues and stuff. And he has to go, and they steal this Buddha, and he has to go back as his village honor to reclaim the Buddha, the village Buddha.
Okay.
So he goes. It's a fucking amazing movie, man. It's like such a humble tale of a humble Thai villager who's a martial art kickboxer, and how he's called on as the last man to reclaim the Buddha for the honor of for spiritual protection of the village. Not just that, but just to right the wrong of these international art dealers stealing, using rough, heavy men to intimidate villagers and stuff and steal. Literally at the end, but there's an amazing scene of the massive Buddha. They're trying to drill this Buddha out the mountainside and stuff like this. Like, it's a cave, but totally awesome movie. Yeah, I went to Bangkok and I watched people. Unfortunately, and I've got Thai friends. Speaking to them, unfortunately, Thai kickboxing is really. I can't say it's not a professional sport in the sense that it's like totally aimed at tourists. So
your mic has gone a bit funny. Sorry, True Spoon. Your mic, you're a bit underwater sounding suddenly.
Well, I don't know, man. Are you sure?
There you go. You're fine now. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah. So the thing with fighting sports, for me, the sport that kind of like instills the most discipline in people, because you don't get a lot of discipline. You have to some degree discipline in football and rugby and things like this, but you have a lot of ill discipline as well. And I'm not saying it doesn't happen in fighting sports, but fighting sports, whether it's, whether you're talking about boxing or you're talking about like jiu-jitsu or anything like that, I think it really instills a great sense of discipline and honor in people. And it kind of like, it's one of those sports that helps turn people into better people, if you know what I mean. Especially things like jiu-jitsu and stuff and martial arts. There's so many people who credit those things with instilling good values that they then take into their lives outside of the ring. So you don't really hear people talk about football or basketball or whatever. Rugby.
Well, in them respects, is that it gives you character. You don't hear it.
Yeah,
I think you're right. I think that's a good point.
But also, good evening to Why Not, who's joined us. Why Not in the chat there? Just good evening to you. Hope you're having a good week, sir.
Good evening to you too, bro. I'm literally not being pedantic, but I'll have a good evening as well. I'll definitely do that. I might. This
is actually a reference to a former Arsenal manager who was Spanish, and he had a bit of a certain way of talking with the Spanish twang, and it used to sound like he said "good evening" instead of "good evening." Nice. Right. It's kind of a thing amongst Arsenal fans to kind of just a gentle bit of mockery, sort of thing.
Oh yeah.
But yeah.
So yeah, listen. So there's a big fight coming up this Saturday. We are boxing fans. We're into it. We can't wait. We think Dubois was robbed the first time round.
Do you know what? I need to rewatch the fight. I've not watched that fight for ages. I do agree that I think we agreed the last time we talked about this in terms of it wasn't a low blow.
Exactly. Then the fight was over, and Dubois won by technical knockout. So TKO. That's it. Game over. That's it. No more. Nothing more to be said. The fact that it was held in Poland, in Wrocław, which was presently sort of in favor of the sort of politics over the Ukraine war and the Ukrainian sort of fake war here. Well, I don't know. Listen, it was the Klitschko brothers. I think they went. Did they both go to war? Oh no. Literally, they served, and did they serve for a bit in the Ukraine? They went to Ukraine. I mean, the Ukrainians, but. Well, one of them did a bit. They did a bit in the army, didn't they? I don't know if Usyk did. He said he would be better served as being a boxer. I think he's right, but honestly, yeah, he literally said that. I mean, yeah.
Vladimir was the mayor, or was it Vitaly was the mayor? I can't remember which one.
Yeah, toss a coin, mate. Do you know what I mean?
But yeah, so you're right. I think they both served in the army, but yeah, Usyk didn't. I think. What do you think? What do you think about? So let's get into it for a little bit. Like, what do you think is going to happen on Saturday? For me, I would say watching Usyk's fights back a few times recently. I don't know. It's a close call. I think it would be probably go the full length, and I reckon Usyk will get it on an
15 rounds.
If only, if
A
only.
fight like that, 15 rounds, and I don't think you. I mean, could do because them brawls of the 80s, them 15-round brawls. Though, I mean, they were big fellas as well. Those heavyweight fights, you know.
But yeah, what do you think? Do you think Dubois can pull it off? He looked a bit nervous. He's been acting a bit nervous because of the way he's been acting up in the pre-match build-up, sort of pre-fight build-up. So whether that's going to take its toll in the ring, I don't know. Whether he's going to carry that through to the ring, I don't know. But he's pretty fearless. He does seem pretty fearless against Joshua under the lights. It's going to be it's the same, isn't it? Was it the Joshua fight at Wembley? I think it was at Wembley, wasn't it? No, it was at Tottenham. Or was it? Fuck, where was the Joshua Dubois fight? Was it Wembley or Tottenham? That's going to bug me now.
No, hang on. What? Joshua AJ Dubois? I don't know.
Was it Wembley? I'm sure it was Wembley. Yeah. It was at Wembley. Yeah. On September last year at Wembley. So he's stepping out at Wembley again. So Dubois my point being, Dubois got experience at Wembley, so he shouldn't be overawed. He's same dressing room, same kind of walk up. He's got experience of that, and that does count for something. So yeah, we shall see. But I just think Usyk's just too technically good for him, to be honest with you. Land more punches, dominate a bit more, and then get the points decision, I reckon.
Dubois is a better fighter though than he was when he fought Usyk even.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. I mean, there was a time when Dubois when Dubois was like dubious. He was like, yeah, who is he? He's like, okay, he was like a contender and he was insecure, but now he's got a belt. I mean, he's going to have the top training. He's got his position cemented. He's no longer at the bottom of the ladder. He's at the top of the ladder, waiting to step through the door for true glory. And he's going to have everything at his command. He's in Wembley. It's a UK crowd. He's going to feel he was unjustly. We all feel he was unjustly robbed last time, man. He could fucking batter Usyk, man. I'd like to see it.
I don't know if he could batter him. I mean, he could look. It's heavyweight boxing, isn't it? He could catch him, and he could catch him with one, just like Usyk could catch him. This is why heavyweight boxing is so interesting, isn't it? Because any moment, there could just be a split second, and one of them's knocked out, or at least knocked down. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, it's we saw that with when Dubois for AJ, and AJ sticking his tongue out, and then a few seconds later he's on the canvas, isn't he? And able.
Listen, what convinced me that Dubois is almost like a 15-rounder was that fight with Jarrell Miller. Did you see that?
I didn't see that. No.
In Saudi, that was part of the Saudi stuff. The what do they call it? The Saudi season. That was unbelievable. Jarrell Miller's a monster. He's a big, fat, swinging monster, and he's like been brought up on steroids since he was a baby, right? But that was an absolute fuck. That was a slugfest. And that was like survival. And he wobbled the monster of Jarrell Miller, who's a big puncher. He's like a big puncher.
Yeah, I'll have to watch that.
And then, of course, Hrgović, who'd always been a dark horse. Filip Hrgović, he's a lingering contender. He was always in the top 5. It's like, what can he do? What can he do? But I suppose by the time, Dubois is a younger man, and Hrgović he just made mincemeat of him. He just destroyed him. So, and then he took out AJ. So honestly,
well, yeah. I mean, look at his record. I mean, Dubois has got it's a decent record. 22 wins, 21 wins by knockout.
He lost against Joe Joyce, but these latest wins have been his most magnificent. This is his ascension to the top of the game, really. Miller had been a sort of big baby. Miller had been a sort of controversial figure. Sort of, I think he was banned or something. To be honest, I think there was a bit of controversy there. But that fight was like a classic. It was like a dirty 15-round classic. The way they were just smashing each other, and I saw what he could take, and no way could Usyk couldn't take that. No way. So that's it. Honestly, I just don't see Usyk being a brawler, but I think Dubois is a brawler now. He's a brawler. and that's
So it's
dangerous.
interesting then. So I think we're both kind of coming at it from different, like, so I'm kind of leaning more towards the Ukrainian, and you're leaning more towards.
Oh well, obviously I want Dubois to win,
Dubois.
but yeah, I think Dubois could get it, man. And of course I want him to, but I ain't gonna put no money on it because that's when I bet on things. It's like I start to fuck with the quantum, the wave, and it collapses, and I lose all my money. You know, because it's just not meant to for me. It just spoils it if I put money on. I don't know. I put money on Dubois though.
No, there's definitely something about that, as we mentioned before. I mean, like you do seem to change reality when you add in money into the equation. It seems to just change the reality pathway.
I don't want to jinx it. Do you know what I mean? It's like
this is it. It jinxes it.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
More often than not. I mean, there's certain football bets that I just kind of know are going to come in, but they're kind of simpler things like, both teams to score. There's certain matchups. Like last season, I won a little bit of money. I didn't put like loads on, but Chelsea were playing Tottenham, and I think it was at Spurs? I think it was at Spurs. Yeah, it was at Spurs, and I just knew, like, you just knew both teams were going to score because they were both conceding loads of goals, but they were both scoring at the time, and you just knew, like, with a capital K, when you get that knowing with a capital K. And sure enough, it was 1-1 after about like 20 minutes or something, and the bet came in after like 20 minutes. So every now and then you get that one where you just sort of know it's going to come in. But otherwise, it's more of a hunch, or it's more of a kind of, you're trying to be logical about it. And as soon as you put that money on, it fucks it up.
So you think Usyk will win this because of his technical prowess, yeah?
Yeah, I'm going to go. But he's not getting, he's going all the way. He's going the 12 rounds, and it'll be like unanimous decision for me.
Yeah, there's no way I can see Dubois getting knocked out. He's lost to Joe Joyce is a weird one, but then Joe Joyce is pretty. Yeah, no, I mean, I actually watched that. I remember that. Yeah, I remember that. That's why I discounted Dubois, because I saw how Joe Joyce just hammered him. Do you remember Joe Joyce?
Yeah. Joe Joyce is kind of like, but he's not a very agile boxer, Joe Joyce, is he? So it was a bit of a weird one. I mean, I watched Joe Joyce's last fight, and the guy barely moved.
I'm not talking about the bare knuckle Irish boxer. You're shit in the bucket, you bastard. That guy. Do you remember him?
No, I know what you mean. I know.
You know what I'm talking about.
The guy.
Shit in the bucket. Oh, shit in the bucket.
He's got that kind of Love Island participant face, Joe Joyce, hasn't he? Sort of thing.
Yeah. But he was a juggernaut, and he would just absorb everything. I was worried about him, but I always said to my mate, who's a big boxing fan, and he's like, this was his pick, and I said, he's fucking slow. He's just too slow. He just doesn't get out. He don't get out of the way of the punches. You know
what, Joe Joyce? Yeah. Oh God, yeah. He barely moves. Yeah,
I know.
Crazy. It's just one of those heavyweights that just like, some heavyweights are like that because they're so heavy. They just lumber around. That's the thing. They may be able to pack a punch, but the thing is, like, they can't move out of the way of your punches. So if you can catch them easily, and they've not got a good chin, then you're onto a win.
Yeah, Jonker's bastard. Your Jonker's bastard. That's another one of Joe Joyce's. No, not this Joe Joyce, but yeah,
the other Joe Joyce. But yeah. So yeah, it was a weird.
Can we slip seamlessly into the show? Should we like move from boxing and just like effortlessly glide into stuff about a planet 35 times the size of Earth?
We're talking about, like,
or do we need to make up a segue or something? You know,
we're talking about heavyweights, aren't we? So these are heavyweight.
There you go. You made it. You did it. Wow. We should have written this up beforehand, right? You know, that's the way to do it. Yeah.
This is from space.com, is it? This link you put up here. Is this the one from space.com?
Yeah. Let's see if this is the one from space.com. Because it is. Yes, it is. And
space.com is one of the oldest scientific sort of physics websites that there is. This thing was around in about 2000, and so I think I was at uni because I got a little story about it. I believe I was at uni at the time, which would date it back to at least 2006. So basically, I had this idea years and years ago, like 2005. I was at uni. I remember I was living in the house where I was at uni with the terrible internet and blah, blah, blah. But space.com. So I had this idea that I was thinking about supernova, And I was thinking about, God, if you're on a planet,
Supernovae.
supernovae,
Know your
yeah,
Latin plurals.
plural. And
It may even not be that, I don't know, but go on.
yeah, it is. You're right. It's got the A and E at the end. I just, I was being lazy with my lackadaisical with my pronunciation. But yeah, I was thinking about if you're a planet with a civilization too close to a supernova going off, then you're toast. And then it got me thinking, how many supernova happen in the known universe? And then, roughly speaking, how many planets do we know that will be near there? So I kind of put this into a post on the space.com forum. And I sort of like invited someone who was a bit more mathematically knowledgeable about like planets, galaxies, the amounts of supernova and blah, blah, blah.
Supernovae.
I'm not going to learn, am I? I'm not going to learn. But yeah, and the supernovae that go on. And someone came back and they were basically, between us, we worked out that every second that passes, 64 planets are obliterated via supernova.
That is brilliant.
Supernovae.
That is such a cool. Well, that's really exciting. That's a cool fact.
Does it still have its form?
That is a great little fact. Not to boost a step, but to give you that set. You know that thing I always talk about, that the from the Hitchhiker's Guide, that sort of total reality vortex. Do you remember that thing? You know your hitchhikers, right?
Well, I'm not that into it actually, but no, go on.
Before your time, old son. I love things like that. Like things. I was thinking the other day, if you actually thought about how many people really live in London, and you put yourself in your position where you're standing on the pavement or wherever you are, and you try and visualize all of those 8 million people doing things at the same time or just doing their life, and you try and imagine that and then expand your consciousness to, would that overload you? Well, because that's what the total perspective vortex is all about, being overloaded by too much reality.
Well, I had a similar thought one time when we were in Seville randomly, me and another couple of friends of mine and another couple of Betis fans of mine, because I'm Real Betis as well as Arsenal. We were in Seville for a game, and after the game we went out. It was a Saturday night, and they were just like, there were so many people around. It was so crowded. It wasn't like obnoxiously crowded, but there was just loads of people around, and I'd gone a little bit ahead of them two who were talking about something between themselves. So I'd gone a little bit ahead, and I was a bit buzzed, a bit like, drunk. We've been drinking all day, and it just got me thinking, like, there's all these people having all these thoughts all at the same time.
Yeah.
And it kind of
where was that? Where was that?
That was just in the sort of center of Seville, basically near the river.
Oh, right. Yeah.
The Guadalquivir River. But yeah, so I know what you mean. It can get like, if you zone into that, if you sort of like home into that kind of idea, then I didn't find it overwhelming, but it's kind of fascinating to think that all these humans are having.
But that's what you have to do. Like, it's like, you just told me 60 planets are destroyed every second, right? Is that what you just said? Yeah,
that's what the guy worked out. What I'll do is I will try and when we're offline before the next show, I'll see if I can find it on the message board. Imagine if I could find it still. I'm not sure if I'm not sure if their message board is going to go back 20 years, but we will see. But I remember him, he did this calculation whereby it was kind of a rough average, kind of like, how many planets are known to be in certain star systems, in certain galaxies where stars are of a certain age, that they will die soon, or they're dying at the moment, sorry. And it worked out to be 64 planets per second.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that number's too small, really, for the size of the universe. I don't know, you know what I mean? Yeah, that kind of makes the universe seem quite small, because it's like how many people? I don't know if that number's too small. Do you know
I'd love to be able to remember.
I want more planets to die every second.
It is a crazy
more planets.
It's craziness, man. Craziness. If I can find that would be hilarious. But I don't know.
When was this though? Because they discovered new galaxies recently, like within the past 10 years. There's so many new galaxies. So when was this when was this calculation made?
This was in 2005-ish, maybe 2006. That's pretty cool,
yeah.
So it's one of the first message boards I used to go on as a sort of 20-year-old young lad. Space.com. Yeah. I don't know if it still has a message board. I'm looking at the website now. I'm not sure it actually has. Oh, it has a forum still. It does have a forum. Okay.
I bet they banned people from discussing the moon landings and things like that, right?
I'm not sure if they have a quote unquote conspiracy area, or whether it's all just like properly, strictly scientific.
Yeah. So yeah, this story, which I just which I've seemed to have multiple things going on here. Here we go. Astronomers discovered giant alien planet 35 times more massive than Earth hiding in known star system. So what they've done, you know how they detect planets? Have you heard about the technology they use to detect planets?
So it's kind of like how the light dims as it goes between
the star of the light. So it's being occulted by the planet. So the star's light dims, and they measure the difference, and then they can infer or measure the size of the planet that's occulting the star. Yeah. But now they reckon they've got a new method, which doesn't involve necessarily, because it's quite rare that the planet occults the star. So what they're doing now is they're taking measurements throughout the whole solar system, apparently, and they're being able to actually, why don't I just show you the article? So so there's a planet, Earth-sized planet, 35 times the size of Earth. This isn't it, of course. This is just like Jupiter, the backside of Jupiter. But
I was going to say they've made it into like a purple Jupiter.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, isn't it? Yeah, they've been very lazy. They could easily have done an nice little AI thing. This is space.com. You should get back on that forum and tell them how lazy ass they are. In this day of AI, they didn't use a stock picture of Jupiter. They could have like created a mega Earth, a 34 times size mega Earth. So yeah.
Yeah, because Jupiter's much bigger than the mega Earth, isn't it? Because Jupiter's like 1,000 times, or you can fit 1,000 Earths inside Jupiter. So I don't know if that is the same measurement exactly, but yeah. Anyway, go on. Sorry.
Yeah. So this super Earth. So it's like you were talking about the size of Arcturus and those mega giant stars. What you think? What kind of life could live on that? Like in a planet orbiting a blue supergiant? Can you imagine?
Like a Stevenson 218, whatever it's called, something like that.
Couldn't be human. Would it be human life? Because there's something, I don't know. It'd be like something like higher than us, because it's like this blue, powerful blue light. Could you imagine? It'd be like, gosh,
I wonder
you always invested in alien sort of exposition. I think we should because I was thinking like, if this planet is 34 times the size of Earth and is an Earth planet type thing, would the would the people, would the animal, the humans and everything living there be 34 times larger? So you'd have like literal giants, like literal human giants.
Or would it just
in
be
proportion to the size of the planet somehow? Is there a proportionality? Is there something that works that the animal?
Yeah, is there, or is it just there'd be more space for more humans that are roughly the same size? But the thing is also, just because we're sort of roughly average 6 foot.
Yeah, but hang on. You think about that. 34 times, so everything is going to be 34 times further away. So the corner shop is 34 times further away. So you're going to have to that's a 34 times. So you drive to the supermarket, it's going to take you 20 minutes. It's going to take you 34 times that to get to the supermarket. Everything's going to be further away.
Well, maybe they just have.
You're going to need longer legs to get there quicker.
Oh, so you mean sort of like the adaptation element of things?
Yes, because the supermarket's so far away, you're going to adapt to be super giant human beings so they can walk to the supermarket faster.
Well, there's obviously the historical ideas about the Nephilim and ideas like this. So I don't see why necessarily humans or beings that resemble humans, maybe slightly different, stop at 6 foot. I mean, we ourselves have been growing, haven't we? I mean, back thousands of years ago, average height was like 5'5" or something like this. So we've steadily grown as the years.
Yeah, don't they say that Napoleon shaved 2 inches off the average Frenchman because all the Frenchmen died and there was only the short people were left? French people do have a reputation of being a little bit short, I think, shorter than average. Am I right in that?
Well, you're just making me think. I found the same kind of with Italians as well. I don't know.
Yeah, you're right. Italians are a bit shorter than average, a bit stockier Italians than the French, aren't they?
They can be, but they can also be kind of just sort of like quite stringy and short. But then also there's like
stringy Italians, yeah, stringy and short. Yeah, you're right. A lot of Spanish out there. Listen, we might have an international audience. We better stop there. We better stop there, bro.
We just like to clarify. We love our French.
We love our short stringy. We
yeah.
love them all, of course. Yeah. Yeah.
But it's just an object. It's just an observation. That's all. That's all it is.
It's just observing reality. What else can we do? Honestly. So the point is, like, I don't know. I thought, would life grow in proportion to the size of the planet? But yeah, I mean, obviously the corner shop being 4 times, yeah. But it's like, it does make you think though, because it would affect like everything, the size of the planet. It would affect the length of the day, the seasons and stuff like that, and gravity, right? Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. It'd have to be bigger to deal with the higher gravity, Yeah, so it's like, if we ever met like aliens, maybe they'd just be like super giant humans, just try not to step on us, Yeah, I don't think the world's ready for that. Do you?
What, super giant humans coming down? Yeah, that's going to be problematic.
But I always say, listen, I've researched this. We're ready for this. We've got this from here because this planet's 34 times larger. These are 34 times. Just deal with it. They're okay. Just don't get under their shoes.
Well, as long as we, as long as they kind of like, they don't sort of want to stand on us or something. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, we are kind of sitting ducks to so many things like that, like asteroids, like whatever. There's so many things that we potentially are just completely defenseless against. And this is
giant 34 times size humans from this, what is it called? Kepler 139c. We're defenseless against those. I think like you could fire nukes at them all day and you just like, well, you just fuck yourself up more. Maybe you'd like, you'd like blow someone, you'd like blow his shoes off or something.
Yeah, but then they'd have nukes that were like 34 times the size of ours. So
would they bring the nukes? Would they bring the nukes though?
I mean, they'd probably. I guess maybe, because I don't know. It depends how cocky they are. But they could just, like I say, yeah, we could just like catch our nukes and just chuck them away. If we find nukes of them and they're 34 times bigger than us, they just like sort of catch them with their fingers and just what the hell is that?
I think I'm going to try and be a little bit scientific. So yeah, there's a European thing coming out. There's going to be a new satellite that they're launching. It's called Atlas, I think. Is it Atlas? Oh, it's Plato. It's called Plato mission. In 2026, European Space Agency is launching a planetary transits and oscillations of stars survey. And it's going to conduct its own survey of transiting planets. And it's going to find more exoplanets, because it's not just going to analyze the light from the star, but it's going to analyze gravitational disturbances. I think that's what it's doing, and movements of other bodies in the solar system that have been affected by heavy. But it's analyzing the different sort of spectral wavelengths from the sun, but in response of. It's super sort of, obviously it's really sort of very delicate work, but so
it's amazing that we can find out what we do find out. It's amazing that we're able to, even at this level of technology, which we perceive to be pretty decent, and it is pretty decent to be fair, but it's nothing compared to what it's going to be like in say 100 years or whatever. But still now we can find out so much. It's like when I read into some of these things, like when I'm prepping for the show, when I read into some of the things, and I'm like when I did the neutron star thing the other day, and I was like, how they can figure all this out? And we're here on Earth, and we're talking about stars and galaxies and systems that are, light hundreds of thousands of light years away, and they're still able to kind of figure out what is going on, or at least, give a good guess anyway. It's craziness.
Yeah, so they're using the gravitational forces that they can detect or something in those distant sort of solar systems, rather than just the occultations. Yeah. So that's pretty interesting. So yeah, just expect a load more news about giant 34 times size humans just being out there. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe not. Maybe there won't be. But
well, hopefully they'll be friendly giants anyway. Hopefully they'll be like BFGs.
Yeah, maybe they'll treat us like pets. Maybe they'll keep us in cages and feed us regularly. We won't have to go to work.
Well, that's that's a sort of optimistic view of the future. That is. Anyway, yeah. So, I mean, with the James Webb Telescope as well, I mean, it's spotting new things all the time. So there's going to be more and more of these planets. I mean, it just found a galaxy, didn't it? That's what was it, 280 million years after the Big Bang, where people are thinking, well, how is that? It was never thought to be plausible, I think, to have galaxies forming that close to the Big Bang. So it's now detected that, I think, because of, is it the redshift that it allows it to do that? I'm not sure if it's how it actually does it, sorry, but some spectroscopical type stuff. So yeah, a mere 280 million years after the Big Bang. So
yeah, that's very young in terms of the size of the universe, because that's within the first 200 million years. And so they found these galaxies, but I think we mentioned before how they shouldn't be fully formed by that time because of a thing called galactic evolution. It's supposed to take billions of years to create this spiral shape, but these galaxies have it within the first 200 million years of the formation of the universe, which is really weird. And they don't know how to deal with it, you know.
Well, I think, is it that they're trying to say now that, okay, perhaps we need to push back or expand the age of the universe from 13 to like 26 or something like that?
Right. Is that what they're saying? Seriously?
Well, there's a few people that have said that, yeah, that it should be about 26 billion years, not 13 billion. I'm not sure. I haven't looked so deeply into why it's suddenly 20, why it's just like doubling it, but I can look into that a bit more for the next show maybe. But yes, there's quite a few scientists who are chiming in with that. And it makes me think, okay, if that's, let's say that is taken as the next new thing. So it goes from 13.7 billion to 26.6, I think they were saying. Then what happens? Do we then have another jump and then another jump? Is it just going to be 20? You know, we're still in the infancy of understanding all this stuff, and it's just we're just going to, during our lifetime especially as well, we're just going to find out so much more new stuff, and it's kind of exciting to me. I find it, I find like the bettering of technology and our ability to figure this stuff out just like really exciting, like, especially the past few years, and thinking about what are we going to figure out in the next sort of 20, 30 years. What's the next telescope after the James Webb telescope going to be like? You have the Vera Rubin telescope now that's in Chile, I believe. I'd love to go to Chile, man. We should go to Chile. We should go to Chile one day, find a place where we can see the galaxy and just do a load of mushrooms. That's something I'd like to do. Because I remember Joe Rogan talking about, there's a Chilean observatory. I can't remember where it was. I did look it up. But yeah, I can't remember the Chilean name that I can't remember. And he was like, yeah, it's like being in a spaceship looking out the window, which is kind of what I used to think when I was in the countryside. But this is on a way bigger scale, way more detailed scale than anything I ever saw in Yorkshire.
Yeah, you'd had pretty clear skies there, I think, as well, right? In Yorkshire.
Yeah, you never got the Milky Way galaxy or anything that detailed, though. You just got a hell of a lot of stars, especially compared to London. Although I did see a great night sky in Ali Pali, next to Ali Pali, years and years ago on a very clear summer night, but still, it's nothing compared to what I would see in York. In fact, no, it was quite a good comparison to Yorkshire, but still not quite. But then if you see the pictures that people take from this Chilean observatory, it's crazy. It's mind blowing. And I think we miss that, don't we? We miss the ancient sort of had such a great knowledge of an appreciation of the universe, because they didn't have any cities that chucked out all this artificial light and covered everything up. Did you see that? Do you remember the story when was it Los Angeles? I think it was in the 90s, had a blackout, and all the stars appeared, and everyone was phoning the police because they were reporting a massive cloud in the sky, and it turned out to be the Milky Way.
Oh, that sounds weird and unbelievable, but is it true?
Yeah. I'll find the story in a minute. But yes, apparently so. I remember seeing it quite a few times. It was LA. Yeah. What's this we got on the screen here?
Okay, so I'm going to put this thing. This is called this is a 4-dimensional shape. This is called a hypersphere.
Oh, this is a hypersphere. Okay.
This is probably the hardest possible. This isn't really a true sphere because you can see it's more like a dodecahedron. Because the sphere, of course, is totally has one side and it's like infinite. Like it's like the line is infinite because it's just a sphere or a circle. But this is just a demonstration to sort of think about 4-dimensional shapes. this is probably the hardest one I've chosen. I don't know why, because it just came up in the thing. But every side of a four-dimensional sphere, hypersphere, is another sphere. It's a three-dimensional sphere. And I had this like really far out like lucid dreaming experience yesterday.
Okay, yeah, let's get into that.
I did total lucid dreaming yesterday. So what it is, like I meditated as I usually do, and like you just like cross your legs and just close your eyes, and I put earplugs in, and you just try and clear your mind, right? You just gotta clear your mind, and what you're trying to do is you're trying to like. Ultimately, I know where the aim is in meditation. You've got to break on through this sort of mental barrier, but it's about clearing your mind and losing thoughts, emotions, and impulses, and firing neurons in your brain. So, like, literally, I mean, it takes a long time, but it's worth doing. So, like, I was doing it for 6 months, and you get to that point where you can just feel your brain just going off, and just you stop it. You just stop the neurons. You just stop things going, and you have like. But your personality doesn't disappear, just because you don't think or you don't have any activity like firing off in your brain, like emotions and thoughts. You're still there. You don't disappear. You know what I mean?
100%,
so like when Descartes said "cognito ergo sum," he was like kind of bullshit, because even without cognito, you're still some. You're somewhere. You're you. You're there. You're still you. Consciousness isn't about thoughts.
And when you're lucid dreaming,
you go on.
Sorry to cut in. I was just going to say quickly, when you're lucid dreaming, you aren't really thinking, but you still am. You're not really having the same thought processes that you are when you are in wakefulness, but you're still you.
That's so true. And the problem with the world, and listen, I mean, it's all about we're just slaves to our thoughts, And it's like that Sam Gold clip from Revolver I played last show. Do you remember?
Yeah.
That guy in the lift. I don't think we got done for copyright for that.
No.
I don't think they came after us. No. Jake in the lift doing a meditation and dealing with his fears and blocking out his thoughts. And then in the movie he becomes this super free guy. He's like completely unattached but in control, because you find that in a sense, by not being emotionally attached to things, you actually become more in control in a weird way. It's true. It just works like that. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, 100%.
If you're emotionally involved in a situation, or your emotions have been flirted, then you're less in control.
Oh yeah. The ironic thing is, because it's not logical, is it? Logically, you would think that if you think more about things, then you are better at coping or dealing with things. But oftentimes it has the opposite effect, e.g. overthinking. It can, in some senses, overthinking can be a bit of a superpower. However, in a lot of ways, it can trip you up. So it's kind of illogical in a way.
It can be, yeah.
But
then I think ultimately, though, the sort of overthinking, but then I think there's something to be said for that kind of like clarity, because ultimately, when you're thinking, like you're dealing with a problem, and like you're in conversation with yourself or something, and it's like the problem isn't being resolved, but there is like a meditation where the answers come to you without thinking. Honestly, I mean, in my experience, if I have a big problem, I'll meditate, and the answer will come to me without thinking about it.
So, do you mean that the answer will come to you in that moment of meditation, or will it come to you later on?
No, it comes to me in that moment.
Right.
Yeah, it's like a clarity. It's like, this is the thing. This is the thing you should do. This is the way. This is the truth. Because obviously we think, we've got brains and everything, but sometimes there's only so much that you can do with thought. You've got to go beyond it to something else.
Let the subconscious work on it. So what happened?
Yeah, exactly.
What happened in the actual dream then? Sorry, you were saying that were you dreaming and it was kind of a normal dream and it became lucid?
No, I wasn't dreaming. That's the point. I wasn't even dreaming. I was.
Oh, sorry, you were meditating. Sorry, yeah.
So
what was the as such? What was the experience?
What I was doing is I was wrestling with a hypercube. I was trying to get my head around a hypercube, and I'm gonna show a hypercube in a moment, because I was trying to reconcile how do you fit what a hypercube is like. It's a four-dimensional shape that's got a cube for every side, but all of the sides of the cubes fit together to make a new shape. Just think about that. Okay, in your mind, like you have to have 8 cubes. They're all the same size, but that 8 cube, like it looks like I think it would look like a crucifix, like there's a really cool Salvador Dali paint. Oh my god, I was going to show this Salvador Dali painting because he actually does it quite well. The hypercube. I'll see if I can beat you to it. Yeah, it's a picture of Jesus on a hypercube. It's the coolest thing ever. Okay, I'm just going to bring it up. Yeah.
I guess it's called Corpus Hypercubus.
Oh yeah,
I like that day. That's quite a cool name.
It's brilliant. It's like, I mean, yeah, Dali is like such a genius. That's like the most amazing thing
I love Dali.
I've ever seen.
It's amazing. You can just look at his paintings for so long.
Okay, I can't bring it up, man. I'm going to try and bring it up. Yeah, there it is, Brian. So, but yeah, so hang on. So what it is?
Okay, yeah, you got my screen. So
have I got your screen? Can you
somehow
can you zoom that up?
Let me just try and can I get it? I can't get it any bigger than that, unfortunately. But you can see that, right?
Oh yeah, but can't you do a double? Have you got a trackpad? You got a trackpad? Can't you? Okay, I'll try mine. See if mine works better. Is that me? All right.
Okay, yeah. Stop. I'll stop sharing. Hang on.
I'll try and do my. I'll get mine up. Yeah. Right.
But yeah, that's quite a fascinating. I've never seen that before.
Oh, you've never seen that before? Yeah, that painting. Yeah, it's amazing.
Okay, yeah. So there's 8.
That's literally a hypercube. Yeah, that's a hypercube. But that is one that in the 4th dimension that becomes a solid shape rather than this is what it's like an unfolded version of a hypercube. Do you know what I mean? Like you get a 3D cube, and when you were at school, you used to make cubes, right, with paper and scissors, and you'd have this schematic, this cross shape, and you made a cube out of it, right? Yeah. But that's a schematic of a 4D hypercube, and that would fit. But it's insane. We can't get a head around it. How can that be a single shape where it creates a sort of hypercube? You can't even imagine what it looks like. And the fact that Jesus is being crucified on a hypercube is like brilliant because it shows that he was 4-dimensional. That's such a cool painting, man. And I guess that's Mary Magdalene, but yeah, you've never seen that before. Huh?
No, and I'm just trying to see what he's like, why he made it, what kind of inspired him to make it. It's nuclear. He has an essay about nuclear.
Oh yeah, there it is. Did I not share it before? I was just walking.
No, but that's a bigger. You've got it slightly larger now.
Yeah. Corpus Hypercubus. That's what it's called, right?
Yeah, that's a great name.
Yeah,
I like
that. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's a good name for a band, Corpus Hypercubus, but no one would get it. But never mind. Yeah.
So what's the kind of like, because we've got hyperspheres and we've got hypercubes, like what's the kind of connection, or if there's no connection, or, because they're kind of obviously similar in a way, but not.
Well, they're 4-dimensional shapes, but we live on the surface of a 4-dimensional hypersphere, excuse me, yeah. So hang on, let me just find that, hypercube, because I've got one on my website. Nice, a really good hypercube I can show you.
I never realized.
Yeah, there it is, man. Okay, what?
I never realized how into this sort of stuff. I'm just reading a bit about it. I never realized how much into this kind of thing Dali was. I mean, obviously, I knew he was.
Yeah, I know. I was surprised. I only found this about 2 years ago. This painting. Yeah. Okay, so what this is, this is a hypercube, but we're seeing this through slices of time. So this isn't a whole hypercube because we cannot imagine, we cannot show what a hypercube looks like. It's impossible. I
think we're sharing the wrong screen. Are we sharing the right screen? My screen's being shared.
Yeah, actually, that yours. Okay, so
are you trying to share yours? Let me stop this. Hang on.
Yeah, you better stop that. Yeah.
You want this one, don't you? Whoops, go for it.
Yeah. Stop it. Right, I got it now. Yeah, here it is. Yeah. So that is the fullness of a 4-dimensional hypercube, but it's only been shown through like slices of time, so you can't see it because it's can't imagine it. It's impossible. It's impossible to represent anything like 4-dimensional in a 3-dimensional. Even on this is a 2D screen, so it's not even a 3-dimensional screen. But you can't represent 4-dimensional ideas on a 2D screen.
Yeah.
So listen, I need to explain that every side, there's 8 sides to a hypercube, and every side is a cube. So the bottom of this shape is a cube. The top of the shape is a cube, and all of the 6 sides are cubes. But it fits together to make a total shape. But we cut that. This is like seeing. That's how weird 4-dimensional shapes and reality is, because it's like the stuff of dreams. It's like, and this is the point I'm trying to make ultimately, is that since we live on the surface of a 3-dimensional universe, which is what Einstein said, is that space and time, space is curved, and it takes the imprint from mass. And if we look back into the galaxy, we look at into the universe, we look at the earliest stages of the universe, we don't see the present, we see the past. So we have proof that it's a 4-dimensional hypersphere. By looking back into the past, we're looking into the previous layers of the hypersphere. And time is just successive layers of the hypersphere expanding. So why this is relevant is because I was meditating, as I said. I was trying to get my head around this thing, this hypercube. I was trying to imagine. So imagine it like this: if you want to see things, like imagine what it'd be like to see in 4 dimensions. So imagine the Earth, and imagine the dark night sky and the universe around the Earth, right? So imagine an eye that is looking around the Earth, like rotating the Earth, but it can see everything at once. Yeah, that's what 4-dimensional reality is. You would see, like, this is what cubism is. You know about cubism? That's another thing. I mean, it's kind of clever, because cubism is representing both sides and everything at once, and it's 4-dimensional. And so I guess these guys were quite clever, these artists. You know, Picasso, right? Like Picasso was a famous cubist, but that's what they did. They were trying to show a 4-dimensional totality of something, no corners, no hidden edges. Everything is seen at once by this omniscient, omnipresent 4-dimensional eye. Pretty cool stuff. But yeah, we're straying into art. It may not be like, but
the mind isn't tuned, although the mind, okay, let me put it another way. The mind isn't tuned, certainly in wakefulness, to be able to imagine these things. Like, I can't, or at least I struggle anyway, to sit here now awake and think of these things. However, if you think more about what reality, or the reality, quote unquote, looks like when you dream, especially when you lucid dream, I suppose we're getting more towards something that's of a higher dimensional quality, because it's not tangibly 3-dimensional. I don't know whether it's sort of in between the two. You certainly don't see all things at once, so to speak, but there's definitely a difference, almost like it's a sort of shadow.
No. I'm just trying to explain what 4-dimensional perspective would be. That literally is that's how it works. So you'd have to imagine it. That's what I was doing. I was trying to figure a way to express how it is to see. If you were a 4-dimensional being looking at our world, you would see everything at once. There would be no edges. There'd be no corners. There'd be no backsides. So you'd see everything. You'd see the face and the art at the same time. You know.
So if you were looking at the Earth, for example, it wouldn't look like a round shape. It would be more sort of. How would you describe it?
It'd probably be like flattened, you know, somehow. Yeah, flattened.
I'm
not talking flat Earth here about.
So, yeah, you know, I was kind of like poking the bear with that. Yeah, it's kind of like it's an alternative flat Earth theory.
Yeah. But you have to be 4-dimensional to appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm not sure it's going to gain as much traction as the current.
There's a bit of work involved, you know.
Yeah, but that's interesting, because it's very difficult to wrap your head around. I mean, I always struggled, and you had to explain to me numerous times back in the day, back in the True Spoon forum days.
So what happened though? Because I was trying to visualize the hypersphere, and I was trying to get my head into 4D. And I was trying to think of ways, how can I see this? How can this make sense? And of course, the hypercube won't make sense. You have to unbend this, like, because our reality, our 3-dimensional sort of space is bent. So you unbend that, and then the hypercube fits. And that weird sort of crucifix schematic design makes a shape, a single hypercube. And I was getting into this, and it was like kind of doing it all night. It was so nice, just doing this. For fuck, I got nothing. I'm just going to chill out and just think about hypercubes all night. And then I got into by thinking about the fourth dimension, you get sucked into the fourth dimension. And then I was in there, and it was like suddenly my mind was like, what do I want to see? I was like, I didn't have a voice, but I knew I could create anything in my mind, and I created a sea, and I was like on an oil rig, or I was on a boat, and it was like it was lucid dreaming. I was fully awake, my eyes were closed, but I could create it was so real. It was like being a child again. Do you remember what it was like to be a child when you played games and they were real in your mind, because you were playing it through your mind, not just with your friends in the back room, landing on Mars in a sort of a few fucking cereal boxes and things you stitched together. Remember those days? But your mind, you were there because you made it real in your mind, and it was like there's kids living for them in the 4D until they get older, and that's why often you find stories of like with me having friends who've got kids. They tell you stories of how, like, when they were young, like they saw a tall man in the room. Like a 3-year-old child will say there was a tall man in my room. He had like grey thin hair, and then my friend said, that's my grandfather. That's who that was. You saw my grandfather. And kids have that ability because they're still in the fourth dimension. Their mind is still fluid and in that realm, right? So they see these things,
And it is 100% true that, certainly from my experience of lucid dreams, that there is a childlike sense to it. There is a feeling, not that you're necessarily a child again, but it does take you back to that feeling that you used to have as a child.
Well, this is what Jesus said, man. Didn't Jesus say about, like, if a child tells you, well, go on, I'll just find a quote. I'm not going to misquote Jesus. Sorry, carry on.
No, all I was basically saying, was that it's not like that I feel like when I lucid dream that I think I'm a child again. It's just, it gives you that same feeling. It takes you back to that kind of feeling, that sort of sensory perception that you had when you were a kid. It's got that sort of familiarity to it, but you understand that somehow that the familiarity is akin to when you were a child, but you're not thinking that you're 5 or 6 or whatever. You're thinking that you're thinking, I suppose, that you're just you the way you are now, the way you've always been, I guess. But
listen, the Gospel of Thomas, Jesus, he says this about the wisdom of children. This is Gospel of Thomas. So remember, this is the sort of so-called Gnostic one. He says, a person old in days will not hesitate to ask a child 7 days old about the place of life, and he will live. I mean, obviously, you can't go around asking 7-year-old kids about a place of life, literally, but metaphorically, that's the truth. That baby knows more about heaven than you do, in a sense, because they've just come from there. They've come from that realm, shall we say?
It's closer, isn't it? Do you know? Someone told a story one time that who was it who told me this? They were around at their friend's house, and their friend had 2 kids. They were very young kids. One was like 5, and the other one was about 2. And I think the 5-year-old said to the 2. He told me that he overheard the 5-year-old say to the 2-year-old, "Tell me what heaven was like again, because I'm starting to forget."
Oh, wow. When did that happen?
This is years ago. It's a friend of mine from uni.
That's a pretty good story, man. Yeah, I like that, man.
I just remember it being, that's a kind of spooky, spine-tingly kind of...
good one. Yeah. That's a damn good one. It's like when I used to teach primary school, and some of them, the kids, like one time we did a thing about dreams, and I think she was like a 6-year-old child said, I was saying, what are dreams? What is the whole thing about dreams? And we've had a discussion, and she said, like, life is a dream, and when you die, you wake up. And like, she was 6 years old. It's like, wow, what?
6-year-old said that.
Yeah, so crazy.
Life is a dream, and when you die, you wake up.
But she was just thinking. It was like, we're talking about dreams and things. It's like, what are dreams? What is it all about? And then she sort of thought about it, and she just said because she was 6, and maybe she just knew it. And we forget these things when we're older,
Yeah, that's crazy. That's for a 6-year-old to come out with that. That's profound. That's the sort of thing that you expect to hear. a quote list for some profound.
Yeah, but it isn't the kind of thing most people say, and most scientists and adults would say, though, would they? They'd say the contrary of that. You know, they believe dreams are just created by the mind under stress, and it's just chemical reactions.
But no,
but that doesn't mean anything. There's no afterlife. There's nothing to, nothing to see here, Gov.
No, I just mean it's the sort of thing that you might go on like a quote website and find like as a quote from a famous philosopher or something like that, isn't it? But we're talking about a 6-year-old girl that is randomly, you're randomly teaching sometimes. So that's crazy. But yeah, there's definitely wisdom there. There's definitely wisdom because they are still technically closer to that as their own.
Totally. Yeah, totally.
Versus those old bastards. Do you know what I mean?
And that's the thing. That's the whole point of this world, is to take us away from that and to create these human machines that don't forgotten who they are.
That's why this channel is important, True Spoon, to keep people on track, get the train back on track. Especially for his older heads who may have forgotten. And this is why we bring this truth to you guys, so we can all start to remember again, and get reacquainted with those vibes.
So basically, so if you're in, I mean, there's a thing called the abyss, which is sort of a meditation thing, which is like a barrier people can't get past. A lot of people can't, because I've spoken to people who meditated, and they always say there's something blocking them, or there's something coming towards them, like a darkness coming towards them. And I think that's called the abyss. I mean, I'm not into Aleister Crowley, but Crowley it's like, thing is with Crowley, he's like the Scientologists. They're weird and they're fucking evil, but they do have some good techniques and they know what to do. They know what they're doing, because the Scientologists have a quite clever technique of just staring you in the eye. And then sort of, what do they do? What do they call it? They call it, what do they call the thing they do? Not harvesting, auditing. Yeah, they audit you.
Oh,
they read you through by staring at you and by looking in the eye, which is what the security services do as well. That's how they recruit you, by looking you in the eye and seeing how you react to that stare.
If you haven't seen it, if you haven't seen it, I definitely recommend watching the Louis Theroux documentary on Scientology. Just a slight tangent, but somewhat on topic. Fantastic documentary about Scientology. Anybody else who's listening as well, if you're interested in that, Louis Theroux's a great documentary maker. Does a fantastic insight where he kind of infiltrates Scientology and tries to get to the bottom of this. And they talk about
it's an awful mess, all that Scientology, isn't it? It's a terrible, horrible mess. Yeah.
It's a fascinating watch, though, just to see these people who are just so clearly brainwashed. Like you say, the eyes, the way they look at you, it's scary.
Well, no, I wasn't saying that. I was saying that's how they have a technique that they use to audit you. They stare at you, and it's actually, it's clever. It's kind of clever because it puts you on the spot. But I said the secret services do the same to recruit people. So it's a technique they probably learned from those guys. I don't know, but you know what I mean.
Well, the CIA had a lot of these weird techniques, as we've said.
Yeah, but even though they're weird, and even though Aleister Crowley obviously is weird. He's right. He was right. He meditated. He knew how important meditation was, and he wrote about something that was coined by John Dee, called the abyss, right? Which is like when you meditate. I don't know if you've ever meditated, Future Shock. Have you tried it?
Not in its proper sense. I can go into some sort of meditative state, but I don't think I'm doing it in the sort of traditional way.
Well, listen, they say that there's this demon called Chronozon, but he's not really a demon. He's just a representation of your anxieties and your thoughts and your fears. And when you meditate, you come up to this abyss, which is like it's a darkness coming at you. You just don't, and it's like it's your own fears. It's things that are trying to unsettle you to stop you progressing. But you just get through that, and then you've crossed the abyss. That's what they call it. But it's like they said, there's Chronozon. They call it a demon. It's not a demon. It's just your own internal sort of anxieties and things,
So when you cross this abyss,
when you cross the abyss, man, it's amazing. Then you start traveling. You start traveling at the speed of light. You actually really move in 4 dimensions inside yourself.
I was going to say, so then you connect back to 4D sort of thing.
Exactly, totally. It's amazing. It's totally amazing. Yeah. So one of the things is when I meditate, I start spinning, and I wonder I don't know if that spinning is because it's like, is that feeling the movement of the Earth around the sun, or is it the rotation of? Is it the is it the is it the movement of the galaxy towards Jackal? Was it the sun going towards Jackal? But I don't know. I don't know if that's me traveling in 4 dimensions or not. It's like I ain't figured it out yet. Whether that's I can feel the movement of the Earth. Sometimes
It could be your consciousness sort of going down into, it's like traveling down the tunnel into the next dimension. Because I've had that in lucid dreaming before. There's a spinning element to it.
Yeah, totally.
As you connect into the start of the.
Totally.
Okay,
yeah.
so there's 2 ways that I'd lucid dream. One will be I'll be having a normal dream, then it just sort of turns into a lucid dream. Or the other one is, which is the one that involves the spinning, which is where I fall asleep and then go straight into a lucid dream. And so that is which involves the spinning, and it's kind of a little bit unsettling because you're very aware of the spinning, right? And we've talked about it before, I think, not necessarily on the show, but we've mentioned about how when you're sort of dreaming, it feels like almost you're slipping in down a water slide sort of thing.
Yeah, it's like a portal. I was one time I had insomnia. I couldn't sleep, and I think I'd been anyway. Never mind.
Oh, this exactly.
Anyway, never mind. I couldn't sleep, and it felt like I was at this closed like membrane, a membrane. It wouldn't let me pass. You know, like a membrane, like you slip through a.
Right.
I couldn't get through it. It was like in front of me and it was blocked. And if I could only get into that, open that wide and slip in there, I'd sleep. But I couldn't. It was really weird. It was such a vivid impression that it's like the membrane was closed, the portal was closed. Sleep is like a portal or like a membrane or something, you know.
And when you do this, when you go through this experience of spinning and kind of going into the portal, you just have to, what I've learned to do, because obviously over the years, I've had quite a few lucid dreams, and you sort of like have the same experiences again and again with the spinning. You have to learn to just ignore the unsettling nature of it and just sort of let go and just let it take you and just go into it without sort of pushing against it, without sort of like trying to push back against it. Because when you first experience this kind of stuff, obviously it's very unusual, and the tendency is to push back against it because it's kind of like maybe scary or something. But if you just sort of go with it, and then you can sort of go into the experience. I don't know. I wonder whether if we are ultimately electromagnetic conscious and you are going back into that pure reality, pure electromagnetic state, perhaps it is just there is a physical, to quote unquote physical way or sort of journey you take which involves sort of spinning down into the atom, down beyond, down to the nexus points.
I do think that's what it is, man. Honestly do. Yeah.
I think it's when you're purely the electromagnetism for a bit, and then you're bumped down into the nexus point to the higher dimension sort of thing.
That's it, man. That's how it feels. Yeah. But you leave the world behind. It's like your body becomes like a shell, and it's like you kind of feel far away from your body, but you know that it's still out there, obviously, but you're deeper into it. And obviously I have to wear earplugs and close my eyes, and you have to cut off every kind of sense of the reality around you, and thoughts and emotions and everything, like hunger and stuff. You just leave it behind, and then you sort of go deeper in. But it's really helpful because it allows you to sort of deal with like life problems much easier, because you always feel like there's a shell between you and the world. It doesn't get too close to you. It doesn't you know how it is. You know how worries and stress and everything's fucking here to stress us out, right? And it gets to you, right? It gets to you, sort of like it plays on your nerves, and it sort of. But if you do this, I can't. I'm not always like that. I got this feeling last night because I can't always meditate as well as this. But when you really do the meditation well, you just feel like it's a fucking blanket surrounding you from everything in the world, And it's like you can just mentally push it away, even though it's right in front of your face. You just don't get bothered by things, You just like because you feel there's something more beyond all that shit outside,
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I was about to say. It gives you that sense of something beyond. There's something beyond this earth and beyond these experiences. And it's not to say that the experiences you have on earth and your experiences with people and the way you are with people and what you do with your life isn't important as such, but you just realize that there's something above, and it removes a layer of worry. And I think that people who don't have these experiences are kind of missing out a bit. And that's not to be like chastising people, but I think Well, what is it? Which isn't it in the Far East that they teach meditation
Yeah,
as a
man. Yeah.
matter of course in
Ah,
education?
Hinduism, of course. Hinduism is well into meditation, and Buddhism,
So I mean,
Yeah.
like they teach it in schools to little kids and stuff, and it's exactly what. And people would laugh at. The thing is, if you suggest this, like people over here in this country would just laugh at that idea, and it just goes to show you kind of how, how narrow-minded society has become. Unfortunately,
It's actually improving because in sort of certain there's a lot of the new sectors in education and things like that. They're encouraging mindfulness, and they're actually encouraging they're opening up to the idea that meditation and mindfulness and quiet reflection, we could call it, is beneficial. You know what I mean? Just to in order to govern your emotions, I suppose. And yeah, I've seen that a lot actually. That's happening more and more, but not enough. It's becoming a thing that I've heard in some schools they're introduced. This is happening actually. There's literal sort of focus on mindfulness and just inner calm. And in schools they encourage this through like 10 minutes quiet reading or just literal 10 minutes of just what was one thing that they did? They did there was a boys' school and they had men's mental health, 10 minutes of men's mental health, where they'll just let the lads, they're just the teenagers, but the idea of encouraging men's mental health, but kids just relax, just chilling out and just thinking, just quietly thinking, having a quiet silence for 5 minutes, and literally that would be so useful and helpful for them just to govern themselves in general in the future in life. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's good to know. I didn't know that, so that's encouraging. I mean,
yes,
when
so these ideas are coming through into education for the next generation and stuff.
I mean, when you have these kind of like lucid experiences or meditative experiences, it does leave you with, especially the first few times you have them, it does leave you with a real profound kind of, impact, especially sort of just after you've had them kind of thing. And that kind of carries through into the rest of the day you have, the week you have, and all this kind of stuff. And it can dissipate because obviously we have things that we deal with in real life that cause stress, problems, and then the mind takes over a bit too much with all the thoughts and everything.
Yeah, that's it, isn't it? It's always I always like that. Have you heard that acronym FEAR? False evidence appearing real.
Yes, I think I have heard of that.
I always find that quite useful because like a lot of fear is just based on things that like they're never, even if they do happen, they're never as bad as you think they're going to be, and you just deal with it anyway. But it's like most things you're really afraid of don't happen, and like you spend their life like being afraid unnecessarily, really, And I think that's the condition they're trying to put us in the condition of fear, because in the condition of fear we're weaker,
Yeah, it's anxiety, isn't it? It's the proliferation of anxiety in society that stops people from pursuing certain things because they're fearful of failure, they're fearful of looking
no, but just generally just like they're keeping us slaves, they're keeping us down, they're keeping us obedient, they're keeping us fearful. I mean, how much of this so-called nuclear war and all this Putin and Ukraine stuff, I mean, maybe they're on the same side at the fucking end of the day, and it's just for us, it's just a show for us idiots to make us afraid.
Oh, well, that's why, people definitely shouldn't be watching the mainstream media. This is why I worry about my parents are they're very much retired. They're both, my dad's 82 and my mum's 79. And they're both very much people who, when they're finished for the day, because they're quite active, but when they're finished for the day, they'll sit in the evening maybe, and they'll just watch Sky News, or they'll watch ITV News or BBC News. Just
the curse of the boomer, you know what I mean?
Yeah, just on repeat. So
Boomageddon.
Yeah, it's just designed to stop people thinking outside of the box as well. It's like we said, I think on the last show, it's programming. This is why it's called programming, television programming.
All right, so listen, we're going to wrap it up around 10. Should we play a tune just for old time's sake and then say goodbye after that? I'll just play a quick one, shall we?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, let's just play a quick one. Just hang on. All right, we'll play this one. Right.
How long is this?
Fucking hell, John. Fucking hell. Fucking hell, John. Fucking hell, John.
Yes.
Fucking hell, fucking hell,
4 minutes.
John. Fucking hell, fucking hell, John. Fucking hell, John. Fucking hell, fucking hell, fucking
Sandwich pan.
fucking hell, John.
And it's called Fucking Hell John.
What's the fucking box? What's up down the shops? The fucking line I need to mop. It fucking never stops. Sweep the fucking floor. Fucking the end of the door. Do the fucking dusting. Give me the fucking red back as a fucking fit to busting. The fucking overall. This fuck only be caught. We're on the fucking dock. I fucking disinfect the fucking bar. Let her fucking breeze in. Fucking know that much I'm freezing. Start the fucking fire. And don't forget to fold the fucking line that's in the dryer. Fucking hell, John. Fucking hell, fucking hell, John. Fucking hell, John. Fucking hell, fucking hell, fucking hell, John. Fucking hell, fucking hell, John. Fucking hell, John. Fucking hell, fucking hell, John. Make the fucking beds. Fucking hell, John. Get me fucking beds. I'm fucking out with me juice. But first before you fuck, I'm fucking zombies down the slopes. I can get the walls of cuts. Fucking give me the remote. I fucking get your cigarette. You know what's in my ear till I fucking down the laundry. Bear the fucking talk. Fucking give me back a scrum. Where's me fucking wall? Throw your fucking dagger down the pub. Fucking put that like it's out. Fucking what's the fucking car? Fucking take the fucking bar. Fucking it's fucking time to get me dressed. Fucking knickers out of mess. Fucking socks out of shit. Fucking jumper, fucking caddy, fucking slippers, fucking scared. Fucking one of the plants. I fucking take me fucking pants. Me fucking body's dripping out on this fucking wilted fucking such a fucking slipping. Fucking get the table laid. Fucking get me hearing aid. I'm not a fucking precious song. You have to fucking move me cause it's fucking feeling wrong. Get me in me fucking seat. Cause it's fucking time to eat. You call it fucking I'm gonna need me fucking teeth. Behind this fucking chewy beef. It's only fucking tender. I thought me fucking dentist to the fucker in the blender. The fucking telly is a ride. The fucking drink is alright. Fucking get a fucking stunner. Get all the fucking light away. You're all that color. Now fucking fuck around the back. Fucking don't I need to whack. I'm fucking swing the fucking yeah. The fucking hell, Joe. Where the fuck's your credit card? Fucking hell, John. 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 Fucking hell, John.
All right, yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah, man. All right, man. We're going to say goodnight, right? Because it's 10
Do
o'clock.
not play a drinking game. We should never play a drinking game with that song on where you drink every time they say fucking hell.
I wonder why he called that song Fucking Hell, John. It's quite a cryptic song title, but...
It is. It's like a Salvador Dali painting. It's got that, like, yes, weird crypticism to it. Yes. So anyway, guys, cheers for tuning in. We'll be
We're
back
back
on.
on Sunday. Oh yeah, we're back on Sunday to discuss the Dubois Usyk fight, right? And listen. By the way, I did forget about the key. I didn't look for it, and I remembered yesterday, and I hadn't found it. But I'm still looking for the key. Whose suggestion was that as the manifestation?
Was that where's Dolls Dance, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I think. Or was it Why Not? I can't remember if it was you, Why Not, if he's still here. I'm not sure if he's still here, but I can't remember now. Whoops.
But that's ongoing. I just remembered yesterday. So, did you remember to look for the key?
It's been intermittent. Let's put it that way. But I need to focus my mind properly on it.
Also, I'm worried because if I find the key, I'm going to be worried that person lost that key and can't get into the house. So I'm like, I'm going to have to keep looking. But I'm like, I am conscious of me. Maybe by my will, I'm encouraging someone to lose the key out of their pockets just so I can find it and boast about it on this podcast rather than this guy can't get into his house anymore. Do you know what I mean?
Well, you snooze, you lose. I mean, literally, your keys.
All right. Well, okay. We're going to be ruthless. We're going to be unscrupulous and ruthless about
doggy dog world, unfortunately.
All right, bro. Okay. All right.
It's all for science, anyway. It's for science.
Yeah. All right. Okay. That's all for science. Fair enough, then. Although, there's a lot being done in the name of science. We're not. Hopefully, we're not. Well, we'll have to just keep our moral compass sort of magnetized or something, somehow. But yeah.
I'm sure it'll be a spare key. It'll just be a spare key that we'll find.
Hopefully. All right. Hopefully, yeah. All right. On that note, we'll say good night, yeah?
Have a good evening. If you're watching on YouTube, click a like on your way out when we're finished. It really helps the channel. And thanks for everyone listening. Have a good evening.
See you Sunday, about 8 o'clock, probably?
Yeah, that's cool. 8 o'clock Sunday. It's all good.
All right, wicked. Let's wrap it up. Okay, everyone. Have well done. We made it to Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, the weekend awaits, and it's all honey from there. Take care, guys.
Take care. See you in a bit.